Welcome to our another Connect for webinar, and thank you so much for joining. More people are joining right now, so let's wait for another 2-3 minutes if that's fine with you all. Great, great.
But Sunday also they also said
So till the time the like other participants join in, so I would just request we want this. I mean, some of you have regular the audience for our webinar. That's really great to see the repeating faces and the names like Dr. Ratna from CIM Trust and many other. And some of you might have joined for
I
the first.
joined, okay.
Right, right, right. So how do you feel today? Can someone just tell me, or any specific thing happened today and you that made your day? Anyone wants to share anything? This is just a random question, not at all scripted. Okay, nobody?
Yeah, doing great, Neelam, and always looking forward for CF webinars. It brings a lot of learning, actually.
Mhm.
Um, Thanks for organizing. And today they went on quite busy as so many volunteers are jumping into for internship program
Right,
from the
right.
university. So coordinating with the schools and other programs were a little bit hectic, but enjoying doing it.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing, your thoughts, Dr. Ratan. It always, a pleasure seeing you here. So I mean, since some of you are like know me as your relationship manager, and some of you we have another relationship manager for you all. So this is Neelam from Connect Four, and I work with the operations team here, wherein I handle communication with the other non-profits like yours, and I also handle this uh, Connect Four webinar section and some other projects what we have at there. And Dr. Ratna, as you said correctly, that right now is the season of the internships and all. So you must have received an email from our end also that since being a volunteering platform, so we are connected and tied up with a lot of many colleges, universities across India where the students onboarded with us as a volunteers and they wanted to do internship for a social cause basically. So if you have any such requirements at your end, if you're looking for the volunteer for virtual or for the offline role, please log into your NGO dashboard and add the opportunity, and we are happy to connect the volunteers to you. Yeah. So I guess we can start right now. Just give me a moment. So all of you know that what is the today's topic? Can somebody help me? Like, what is the today's topic? Why it is interesting to join today?
It's about data collection and its metrics.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Anyone else want to join in, Dr. Ratna? That why data and analytics so important for us, because we to work in the social sector, we are more than happy to to serve the people and serve the community, and also why the data and analytics is so important to us. Yes. Hi Kashmiri, how are you?
hi Neelam.
Santana,
Good. I was actually trying to. I mean, there was some issue in my
mute
audio,
Gogi, she's laughing.
so
Okay, we can hear you, we
I
can
was
hear
trying
you.
to adjust it.
No, there is no adjustment required. We can hear you
I'm
properly.
audible, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Hi Neelam.
I Yeah. So Kashmir, you tell me what is your reason for today's to join this session? Like when we say about the statistics and analytics. Okay. Fine. So once again, welcome all of you to our another webinar, which is on topic which is very important for us when we work with the in a social sector, because we work around a lot of data in and around beneficiaries data, impact report, annual report, a lot of details we need to document at the end of the each financial year, basically, which is very important also, right? So as the topic says, like statistics and analytics, game changer for digital communications. So let's come forward. So what is our agenda? So before we start, we just want to make the agenda is basically I will introduce about Connect 4 and the Connect 4 webinar a little bit. Then I will introduce our expert speaker, Aniket Pratap Singh, who has tremendous experience in this area. You will definitely come to know when he's joined. And then at the end of the session, we will have the Q&A. So in case if you have any questions, anything, any queries you have, you're welcome to ask those questions, and Aniket is would happily answer those questions as well. And then we will have a closing circle. Going forward, let's have some norms. So please take a notebook and a pen, or just open a notepad on your computer, on your a mobile phone and all. So take a notes of it if you find this is very important, the point for you. Use chat box for any interaction, any questions, or anything you want to share on, basically. And again, I would request to switch on your camera. It's always a pleasure to see the happy faces. And yes, raise your hand, be interactive, and you're welcome to be interactive, right? Okay. Introducing Connect for. So may I know, like, if you just give me a thumbs up, or just some emoji kind of thing. So how many of you have joined Connect for very recently in last 1 month for a volunteering platform? So do we have any new non-profits who have joined? Yes. Yes, Taslim, correct. There are many of you, right? So I'll just take a brief few minutes to introduce what Connect For is. Connect For is basically a platform where we match and connect volunteers and NGOs, and based on their requirements, basically. So our focus is to providing the solutions, tailoring the solutions, and which will be benefit to each other, each of our stakeholder, basically. So when the in a social sector, we have a concept of monetary donation. Yeah, is but it is not that much of well accepted, or is well established, I can say right now. But where we have being a very large population in world's one of the large population, we have many skilled people, skilled individuals around us. Yeah. So the our cause area is around to an individual can donate their time and their skill for a specific cause. So for this specific cause, we work around different specific cause like women empowerment, environment and sustainability, um, community development, children's education, LGBTQ, and all. So currently, if you ask, we have partnered with around 500 plus NGOs across India, and we have connected around them to around 75,000 volunteers, which includes individual volunteers, corporate employees, or groups, or the community groups like Lions Club, Interact, I mean, Rotaract Club, something like that. So, what is CF webinars or Connect for webinars? Is basically we conduct these webinars to help, and under as a capacity building for to help non-profit organizations by bringing highly skilled guests, and so they can share their learnings and experiences, and that will also help NGOs to function better with regards to their projects and all. So far we have done around 71 webinars so far. It was started in 2020. And so right now it's a monthly kind of a thing for us. So on a monthly basis, we try to keep at least one webinar per month. So in case if you have any queries, anything you wanted to discuss about Connect 4, you're welcome to reach out to us on all the contact details are available on our website, that is connect4.org. Going forward. Okay, so this is a important part. So let me introduce you to today's speaker, Mr. Aniket Pratap Singh. Yeah.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Aniket. Yeah. So Aniket is currently, working at as a digital communication specialist at United Nations.
जीवन में काम कर
Yeah. So Aniket is having like around he's a communication expert with 7+ years of experience in strategic communications, digital campaigns, and PR. He has led global
किसी
campaigns
ने
and
मैसेज भी किया है पीसीसी पे ठीक है
okay, I would request if you could keep ourselves on mute. Let me start again with Aniket. Aniket. So Aniket is a digital communication specialist at UN United Nations. He has tremendous communication experts with 7+ years of experience in strategic communication, digital campaign, and PR. He has led global campaigns, managed high-profile events, and engaged in advocacy through digital storytelling. And he has worked with UNICEF, civil society, other private firms or other private social organizations. He also speaks on global issues like child rights, social justice, digital transformation. There is much more to it. I cannot fit everything into this frame. You are welcome to go on Aniket's LinkedIn profile and you are welcome to connect with him further also. So yes. Yes, Aniket, welcome and thank you so much for your time, and yeah, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Neelam. Hello everyone. I am Aniket Pratap Singh. Thank you so much, Neelam, for my introduction, for my brief introduction. I create impactful campaigns and amplify advocacy through digital communications at the United Nations and my previous organizations as well. And I would like to keep this webinar as interactive as possible. So can you all please turn on your cameras so that we can see each other, we uh, can you all please turn on your cameras? And instead of raising hand via the amazing Zoom platform, can we raise our hands, physical hands that the God has given us whenever we have questions? And so that we are dependent on the technology. We are going to discuss about the digital communications, but we have to realize that we have our real hands as well, and we are going to use them in this webinar, right? I have worked with United Nations, UNICEF, UNDESA for various international and global campaigns, especially revolving around the General Assembly, Human Rights Council, and the HLPF. HLPF stands for High Level Political Forum that specifically is around SDGs. Now, today we have came here to discuss the power of statistics and analytics in digital communications, right? I'm going to share my screen so that we can have a very detailed discussion around it. Just give me 1 second. Yes, I hope you all can see my screen. If yes, yeah, use your real hands. Say yeah with your real
Yes,
thumbs.
yes.
Okay, thank you so much. For this matter of this webinar, we are going to keep all the queries and questions at the end. And if you have any questions, you can ask in the chat section. But I would recommend you to please, not use turn on your mics so that we will not disturb the flow of the webinar. Thank you so much for that. Now, before going into the statistics and analytics of the digital communication, I want you to understand what is digital communication. Digital communication is, if you will Google it, you will know that, digital communication stands for exchange of information, ideas, and messages through digital platforms. Now, these digital platforms can be mobile phones, your computer screens, your uh, tablets, your laptops, and through various channels like, your website, your social media platform, an email, or a newsletter that you share with your partners. and can be based on content marketing. It can be a paid media advertisement, or it can be online community building that a lot of civil society organizations now do. But why do we need digital communications, right? We already had a normal form of or traditional form of communication. So why do we need digital communications nowadays? Like digital communication is very, as we all are, maybe I believe we all are communication specialists here. So we all know the importance of digital communication, but what is the significance now? Right? Why digital communications is important now? We are seeing that the world is not at very peace right now. The situation in Gaza, Democratic Republic of Congo, Sudan, Syria, Lebanon, and as well in the US, a lot of situation crises are happening. It can be around mental health. It can be around the global crises. It can be around the climate crises. So, as a civil society organization, as we all are the representative of civil society organizations here, it's our role to combat misinformation and disinformation. It's our role to maintain social cohesion. It's our role to facilitate humanitarian aid. It's our role to promote peace, and it's our role to make the people who did those crimes to be held accountable. That's our role as a civil society organization. Now, by digital communications, how do we do it? We raise awareness, we mobilize our supporters and volunteers, we advocate for policy changes, and then we provide updates on our current or ongoing projects. I believe every single digital campaign that we run on various channels can be categorized into these four categories. Whenever we talk about raising awareness, it includes increasing visibility, educating our public, engaging in conversations about the key issues. Whenever we are talking about mobilizing supporters and volunteers, we are talking about raising funds. We are talking about getting registrations on events. We are talking about uh, donor donations and donor engagements as well. Whenever we are talking about advocacy for policy changes, we are talking about influencing policymakers. When we are talking about providing updates on our projects, we are talking about the transparency that our organization is having. Now, I believe, as I mentioned, that we mostly are communication experts. I believe that. I think so. We have different matrices that we are going to discuss later on, like likes, reaches, comments, impressions, and all those things that we are going to discuss later on. But for to make this session a bit interesting, I want you to tell me in the chat section, what do you think? How can we measure raising awareness for any organization, or how can we measure uh, the mobilizing supporters? How can we measure if a donator has given us the money? How can we measure that different matrices, or how can we measure that the policy has been changed? How can we measure that our organization is transparent? Please let me know in the chat section. I'll be waiting. Or you can, like right now, you can turn on your mic as well if you want to speak. Like, what are the different matrices that you want to, that you think are related to these topics? Public posts and acknowledgements. Okay, good. Pre and post data surveys. That's good. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Yes. So, like, whenever we are talking about raising awareness, reach, impressions, engagement rate, all these matrices are there that can, that can discuss about the raising awareness. When we are talking about mobilizing supporters, sign-ups, registrations, donations, donation conversion rate, and all these topics are there that we can discuss about when we are talking about policy changes, petition signatures, because petition signature is something that's very important for policy changing. And when we are providing our updates, we normally do that through newsletters, so open rates, click-through rates for those projects is important. Right now, let's. Can you please turn off your mic? I'm not sure. Neelam, can you please? Hello?
Yes, Aniket, we can hear you. You can go ahead.
Was it audible earlier?
Yes, yes.
Okay, my mic was muted. No worries, no worries, no worries at all. Now, we are going to talk about analytics and the basics that not you, we all need to know, right? We are not teaching here. We are learning each other. We are learning from each other. So the analytics for any data thing can be categorized into four segments. The first one is data collection. The second one is data processing. The third one is data analysis, and fourth one is data interpretation. When we are talking about data collection is about gathering information from various digital platforms. It can be websites, it can be social media platforms, it can be through our own email campaigns. When we are talking about data processing, it is about organizing the collected data that we have collected through these various platforms, uh, and organizing it in such a way that it is presentable. And the data analysis is identifying the patterns through that processed data. And data interpretation is basically taking decisions based on the analysis or the patterns that or the trends that you can see in the data of your organization, right? Now, why analytics matters? Because we can take informed decisions using data to guide communication strategies. Let's just say a campaign that we ran, right? It's around promoting vaccinations. So the reach, the impressions, which demographic locations and what age brackets are we targeting can help us in taking informed decisions. Whenever we are talking about personalization, it includes, let's just say our organizations run uh, courses on various languages, right? And we know that like let's just say 50% of our audience is a particular language speaking. Then we can personalize our content based on our data to tailor our campaigns and programs that as a civil society organization we run. Then we have impact measurement that we can do for using the data analytics, and then resource optimization. Let's just say we normally spend some amount on various different tools such as websites, social media platforms. In social media platforms, we have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, majorly these four, and YouTube can also be counted here. So which based on the engagement, based on the results that we are seeing, you can optimize your resources for that. Now, uh, I know it's been just 20 minutes into the session, but I would like to take a 1 minute break. I will stop my screen sharing here so that we all can take a 30 seconds break and just move our necks here and there uh, to stretch it. And I will take one take. So that's common.
Uh, Aniket, sorry, but I guess you could not smoke during the session. That sounds a little bit of. Could you
Oh, I'm
stop
so
and we can
I'm so
continue?
I'm so sorry, Neelam. I'm so sorry. Uh, See, uh, now this is the data, right? A white thing that has something red on top of it. It's a data in our mind that gives a signal that it might be a cigarette, but no, it's a sugar stick, right? So sometimes when we see data from an overview, we just get a very wrong picture in our mind that we think is giving us a very good analysis of the data that we are seeing, but in reality, it's not. Let's look at it now, right? So the illusion of surface level data. Let's just say we ran a campaign and we have a website. Because of that campaign that we ran, we have approximately 40% increment in the website traffic. Earlier, we were receiving approximately 1 lakh visitors per month. And because of that campaign that we run, we received 1,40,000 uh, website traffic on that. It's an amazing news for, I believe, all the digital experts here who think, website traffic is good. But again, look at the cigarette that we just did. It's just the first matrices, right? Now let's look at the bounce rate. Bounce rate is basically the percentage of people who come to your website or clicked on the link and left it immediately. Let's just say Earlier, your bounce rate was 10%, which increased to 17 or 18% in that case. It means that earlier, around 10% of people were just jumping from your website, but now, because of this campaign, 17% of people were jumping away from your website, immediately clicking on the link. And we can look at the session duration. Earlier, after running this campaign, I'm just comparing the month before the campaign and the month after the campaign, right? Earlier, your session duration was approximately 47 to 48 percentage, but after running the campaign, it dropped to uh, 12 or 13 seconds only, right? So what does it show? Even though we reached a bigger audience, that audience was not of our use. They were not relating to the content that we had on the website. They were not interested in the content that we had on the website, or they were not interested in our programs that we launched. They might be interested in the graphic that we kept on the social media platform to get those links. So just seeing that photo, just seeing that illustration, just seeing that video might made them interested in the content, and they went to your website. But when they went to the website, it's not of their use. So these kind of strategies can hamper your data, can do harm to your campaigns, because normally when we run such kind of campaigns, we spend some amount in ads, right? So the organizers of that particular ad agency get the money because you got the clicks, but in reality, your bounce rate increased, or your session duration decreased. Those organizations will take their money, but you will get no results. So it's important to dive deep into the data and not take decisions based on just an overview image of that. Sorry, Neelam, for that stunt. Sorry for that. Now, we see that whenever there is an increased traffic, it can be website, it can be social media, we are receiving very great reach, but bounce rate, we can refer it to social medias as well. Like, your engagement is decreasing. We are reaching a lot of people, but the engagement decreased, and so that's not good for your social media campaigns. Now, uh, let's try to understand what to measure, because this might be a question for a lot of us. What to measure whenever we are uh, running any social media campaign or any digital campaign? It can be through a website, it can be through social media, or it can be through a newsletter. The list is long. Please bear with me. So this is the list. Wow, like there are like 42 different matrices that I could think of are there. It's totally confusing, reach, link clicks, swipe ups, 10-second views, what's cost per engagement, what's competitor analysis, what is this? Like, there are 42 different matrices that you can see here. Now we are going to understand each one of them, but not exactly as well. So let's talk about, earlier we discussed that we can uh, segment any digital campaign in 4 different categories. If you try to remember, let me try to go back there. Here, any digital communication campaign can be segmented into one of these, right? It's either we are raising awareness, or we are mobilizing supporters. It can be volunteers, donors, anyone, right? Or we are advocating for any policies change, or we are updating about our current programs, right? So based on these 4 categories, we can segment. Let's just say we are running a campaign on raising awareness. Then we have to find the matrices that at least we should measure for this particular case. If we are running an raising awareness campaign, the matrices that we should keep in check are reach, impressions, if you're using a hashtag performance, what your competitors are doing. If you're running an ad reach, watch time, if you're running a video. And now watch time can be segmented into 2 different segments: 3 seconds view and 10 seconds view. 3 seconds view is, let's just say your thumbnail was very amazing, very interesting. So the audience looked at the thumbnail, you just watched the video for 10 seconds, but was not very able to relate to the video, and that's why they didn't stick to the video. 10 seconds video watch is good if to understand that the video that you created are very interesting for the targeted audience. Now, if we are mobilizing supporters and volunteers, then these matrices are there. You can find all these matrices. We are going to discuss how you can find these matrices on your different social media and websites. So when we are talking about mobilizing supporters and volunteers, we are going to discuss your DM response time, active times, how active your supporters, founder, donors, or volunteers are, how they are liking and commenting on your post, and how much influencers you are collaborating with. When we are talking about advocacy for policy change, we need to discuss the age, gender, the interests of their policymakers, the language that they speak, their demographics, and the industries that they work on to discuss the policies, right? And when we are talking about providing update on any project, we normally do that via email or some sort of things. So these conversion rate, link clicks, swipe ups, and completion rate, bounce rate, these all things matter when we are updating any project. So earlier, this mess is categorized based on the campaign that you are running. Now, please, okay. So now, we are going to discuss how we are going to collect these different numbers from your platforms, digital platforms, right? So first of all, it's social media. I'm going to, because I believe here we are civil society organizations with I'm just generalizing thing, like very limited funds that we can dedicate to communications and these analytics tools. So I'm going to stick to just free tools that are there in the market, which you can use free of cost if you have a account there, and so you don't need to spend extra money. Whenever we are talking about social media, and I'm going to uh, just count five social media platforms, which is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, LinkedIn, and YouTube. YouTube can also be counted as a social media platform because people upload their video short or long videos there and via comments, shares, and saves people reacted to it, right? So whenever we are talking about social media, uh, it can be done through Meta Business Suite. You can go to their link. Just search Meta Business Suite in your Chrome or Safari, and you'll be able to go to that for Twitter Analytics. Recently, Twitter did that. Sorry to add this here because now it's a paid uh, metrics for the Twitter. Earlier it was free, now it's paid. But for LinkedIn, it's free as well, and for YouTube Analytics, it's free. Whenever we are talking about websites, Google Analytics is an amazing tool that everyone should use to collect your numbers. And Microsoft Clarity is an also free tool that is available on the website. It the the most important thing about Microsoft Clarity is it gives you heat maps, right? So what's the heat map? Heat maps gives you where your audience or your audience is interacting on the website in terms of, let's just say, are they clicking on your news stories? Are they clicking on your latest articles? Are they clicking on about your teams? Or are they clicking on your social media handles at the bottom of the page, right? So this Microsoft Clarity will give you a heat maps of your websites to give you an overall picture. Now, to use this data and create visualizations, we have a Microsoft Excel, which we all have learned. And now there's Google Looker Studio. Google Looker Studio, you can connect to your websites, you can connect to your social media accounts here, and you can upload your data there to understand, to give you analysis of the tool. It can give you trend, it can show you what's working. However, you can also use these analytical tools because these are now AI uh, created. They use artificial intelligence or machine learning to to take the data and process it on their own. Now, these are some of the tools that we can discuss later on. But now, for this webinar, let's discuss about the data interpretation, because here we have discussed that the analytics can be segmented into four categories. The first is data collection. The second is data processing, and the third is data analysis, and the fourth is data interpretation. Data interpretation is basically making decisions or making strategies based on the previous data that you already have. For the first three categories, data collection, data processing, and data analysis, these tools can be used for to collect data and to process data and to visualize data uh, from these particular portals for your website and social media accounts. However, to interpret it, what let's just say you got a data that that the organization has posted a campaign on 2nd of February, and it got some impressions, it got some reactions, it got this much amount of reach. Now, what do we do with the data? How we are going to strategize your future plans for that? So, data interpretation can help you with the following things. It's about content performance. It's about predictive analysis. It's about A/B testing. It's about audio segmentation. It's about AI-powered sentiment analysis and data privacy and real-time campaign trafficking. Whenever we are talking about content performance analysis, it's to identify which type of content is working for you. Either blogs are working for you, either videos are working for you, or either textual content is working for you. Recently, we ran a campaign where we just uploaded one a screenshot of the PDF with text heavy, and for that particular month, it was the most engaged uh, post on our various social media platforms. It was the deal signed with the UNCRC and our office. So it was just very simple PDF document. We clicked a screenshot of it. We posted on our social media platforms, and it was the most engaging uh, post for that particular month. Now, but based on your organization, based on your audience and the audience that you have built over the time, that that totally depends. So for content performance analysis, you can use the data interpretation. Predictive analysis is basically more about how your audience is going to react to any post or any blog that you will write in the future. A by B testing is mostly about if you want to, let's just say, uh, join now or register now. There are these two buttons that you can write for different for two web pages, and you try to understand which one is working better. Is join now working better for your audience, or is register now working for your audience? Based on that analysis, you can understand that maybe join now is working for me, and then you can take the decision of using join now for your future blog posts or web pages or other sections. Now, audience segmentation is that you create specific content for specific groups of people. So earlier, as we discussed, let's just say an organization is there that is working with to create educational content for their audience, and they based on the linguistic specifications, they are segmenting their audience. So the data interpretation can help you with that in segmenting how many number of people are going to use that particular educational material, or how many number of people are going to use the language a B material for that particular educational courses, and so on. Now, AI-powered sentiment analysis is an amazing tool that what you can use is for to monitor the public opinion of your organization using the data that you already created. You don't have to talk to a lot of people. The AI-powered tools will give you an overview of the public sentiment that is there around you or around your organization. Then data privacy and security. We are going to discuss this very soon. And then we have the real-time campaign trafficking. This real-time campaign trafficking is majorly around the donations that you receive. Now, we are going to discuss about a few generative AI tools and the large language model tools that can help you with the data interpretation. DeepSeek, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity AI, and so on are there. You can use any, but just keep in mind that to protect your data, as we were discussing, that data protection is and security is one of the most important thing. You don't want to upload your data, like how many engagements you are getting, how many uh, likes you are getting on your social media to these tools, which can then use your data to to train their models. Like understanding this, let's just say you uploaded your own data on these AI tools, and someone like 2 days later on, someone searched on their let's just say ChatGPT, what's the impression of Connect for on this post? Because these AI tools are still learning, though they can, give your data to that random person. So that's why it's very important for you whenever you are using these AI tools to turn off this setting, improve the model for everyone. You don't want them to use your data to train their models because your data is your tool, right? That's what you earned, by spending money on your communication fee, on your ad campaigns. So that's why you need, like, when it's very important for you, whenever, like, for normal purposes you can keep it on, but whenever you're uploading your private data on these AI tools, you need to turn this off. Now, we are going to do a very simple exercise here. We are trying to I have created this sample data here that, let's just say on 1st of February, 2nd of February, 3rd of February, 4th of February, and 5th of February, we posted 5 different posts at very different timing on various channels. And we received some sort of reach, some engagement, some impressions by those posts or videos. We got some followers and we got some click-through rates as well. Now we want to do a bit of exercise for this. Uh, Use the chat section. So please let me know which platform, Facebook. Right now we have used Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, is the most important one when we are discussing about uh, donor engagement or engaging with your audience. Please use the chat section. I'm sorry, don't like someone has mentioned LinkedIn, but we are talking about this exercise is not your personal organization. Okay? Yes, yes, right. Instagram, amazing, right? And which one is the least favorable channel? Facebook. It's just a sample data. Don't think that Facebook is dead. So don't think that, right? So absolutely, let's try to figure out the key findings. Best performing platform we all know is Instagram, right? Now, best performing post type. Now we have post type, image, video, link, text, and then again image. Which one is the most engaging one? I'm waiting for you guys on the chat section. Yes, video. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the best performing post type is a video. Now, best overall post. Like, let's just say we go through this data again. We try to see among the 5 posts that we did, which one is the best one? I believe it's video and Instagram. So we posted Instagram and video. That means the 2nd February post that we did was the best one for us, right? Now, underperforming, again, as you all have mentioned, it's Facebook for that because the engagement was 5%. It was on 3rd of March. Now, here are the results, and you guys won because you gave 100% correct answers, right? Now, but this is clapping for everyone. But this can be easily seen, right? Because we know that, just by looking at the data, this is the best performing platform, this is the best performing post type. But what actions can we take? Please use chat sections again. What actions can we take using or seeing this data? Let's just say our best performing platform is Instagram. What actions can we take? Now, if our best performing post type is video, what actions can we take? Please use chat section. If our underperforming content is on Facebook, yes, yes. Like, I have one question. If we know that our underperforming content is on Facebook, Do we leave it? Do we leave Facebook then? No, then why? If no, then what are we going to do? I know we don't have a lot of time, but like, please. Sure, okay. Now, these are some actions that we can take. Our best performing platform is Instagram, and we know that on Instagram the videos are working good. So we will keep using videos more and more to get more engagement on Instagram. We know that our best performing post type is videos and that as per the current sample data. Now what we'll do is we'll use the post type video and post in our different time zones to understand at which time we are getting the best results. Now our overall post was video that overall best post was a video on Instagram. Now what we are going to do, we are going to and for that's true for the underperforming content as well. That on Facebook we were not performing well. Now we will keep using the data, which we'll keep using the video type, post type on Facebook where it was not working earlier to understand if it is working there or not. And in that way, we can use the analysis to make proper actions for our better enhanced communications plan. So start analyzing your data today, and sooner or later we are going to reach there where all platforms are going to be the best performing one, all post type are going to be the best performing type, and uh, we are going to reach that goal. Thank you so much for this. I believe we are on time. Thank you, Neelam.
Oh, absolutely, Aniket. Thank you so much. That was really interesting and very insightful, I must say, because when we work around the data, when we work with the marketing or with the digital platforms, a lot of things we don't take into consideration actually. So this is definitely going to be I'd say it's a game changer, and I hope the audience will, the participants would agree to that as well. Thank you so much once again. And
Absolutely.
yes, the highlight was of today's session was the secret trick. We were all shocked. That's a great way of, you
And
know,
absolutely. And like I understand that, the presentation can be very, very generic for
exact.
our for the webinar audience, but it's majorly because the personalized campaigns are totally dependent on that organization. Let's just say at the UN only, we have
Mhm.
various organizations where teams of just 12 people are working on some project, and then there are some
Correct.
projects where around
Right.
40,000 people are working on
Oh,
some
right,
issues, right?
right.
So
Absolutely.
based on that, your data strategy, your communication strategy will totally depend. And for this
Absolutely.
matter, if you want to connect and boost your digital communication strategy, you can scan this code, go to my LinkedIn profile, and connect with me to boost your digital communication strategy, and we can work together to understand how what's the issue that you're facing, and we can work together to make it better for tomorrow
Definitely,
and
definitely.
beyond.
Sure, sure. So,
Thank
so
you.
we have one question, Aniket. Yeah. So we have a question from Srishti. Srishti, are you still there? If you could, yeah, Srishti. Yes, Srishti. Do you want to ask the question by yourself? You're welcome to just switch on your camera or just unmute yourself.
Hi, Aniket. Thank you so much for the insightful session. For starters, I have put down two questions. I think the one first being, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes, yes,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Thank you
Yes.
for the question.
So I work for an NGO called Sampark, and as an organization, we rely heavily on CSR funding. Okay, so we make out two posts every week. So I think with respect to cadence, we are doing pretty okay because we would not want too much volume, right? But what I feel is that we put out the same CTAs that we are seeing all around, which is upload, which is connect with us, contribute now, empower lives, transform lives. I think it's a very run of the mill approach. So, what can be done to sort of leave the reader, the audience, with a very strong CTA that would make the reader at least want to come back to my website before the donation?
Sure, absolutely. So for any sort of communication plan that we run, there's a communication strategy that we use. It's called AIDAR strategy, AIDAR, right? So A stands for awareness. Let's just say you think of your donors as your normal audience, right? You try to aware them about the work that you're doing. You use your personalized content. You use the campaigns that you're working on. You don't ask them for the funds directly. You use the awareness building to build what your organization is doing and continuously, right? Let's just say for 2 weeks, you aware them about the work that you're doing. Once they are aware, you bring out the interest in them using the key special what is making you different from the other organizations that are working in that. Now, then you work on the D. D stands for desire, and then we have at the end we have the results, right? The R stands for results. So I believe for UNICEF as well, this worked with them very good earlier. What they did earlier is they started posting photos of children in very difficult situations, right? So to get more engagement on their platforms, to understand so that the audience, so that the donors could relate to the challenges that the foundation or the world is facing. And based on that, they try to build their stories. They try to posted blogs on their websites and various through newsletters to aware the audience on the issues that are happening and and bring interest in the audience, especially the donors, about the activities that your organization is doing. So after that, once you realize that your audience is aware about the programs that you're doing, they have interest in the programs that you're working on, then it's easier for you to use your you can email them with a very personalized email to your donors to get funding from them and for the using the CRO strategies as well. If I'm clear, please let me know. If not, please you can counter
No,
question.
no counter questions. Thank you for the information. Should I pose my second question because I would not like to hog all of the time?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, should I go ahead? Yeah,
Yes,
so in
absolutely.
the post outreach, you mention all the mediums barring LinkedIn. Why is that? Because I would think that for a CSR Connect, maybe LinkedIn is the most lucrative platform as opposed to a Facebook or an Instagram. Please
Pardon,
correct
I
me if
couldn't.
I'm wrong.
Pardon, please, can you repeat?
Yeah, so like that slide that you showed about the post engagement and all the platforms were mentioned and the engagement rate was mentioned, and we did talk about what kind of post was rated highest and what kind of post was rated lowest. In that section, I don't see LinkedIn mentioned. Why is that?
Oh, absolutely. So, like, understand, like, I know I wanted to use the data that is there for my organization, right? How we are performing at the on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook, and then discuss this with my communication officer there. And but we have a brand guideline that I cannot show my data for my personal use, right? For webinars, that's properly for our internal purposes only. To answer your question, this is a sample data. It can totally depend on your organization. If you are not using Twitter for that matter, let's just say a lot of people had issues with Elon Musk, so they have boycotted Twitter because of the current or the latest policies by Instagram that they are not uh, monitoring the content anymore. A lot of UN organizations are also planning to boycott Facebook and Instagram. I know it will be a very difficult thing to manage to talk to our audience if we are not on Facebook and Instagram, but because of the steps that these organizations are taking, the Facebook Meta organization has taken, the UN is taking that step. Now, talking about this data is purely uh, for sample. I can totally replace this Instagram with LinkedIn and it won't matter because this is a very sample data. We can, if you, and for our organization, just to disclose, like for our organization, even though the reach is not as we have on Instagram and other Twitter, but
Hmm.
engagement wise for United Nations as well, LinkedIn works the best. It's because
Okay.
donor management, it's because the CSOs that we collaborate with, they all are on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn, majorly professionals are there to interact. So I believe it for like sorry to clear the confusion. This data is sample, so I'm sorry for not using LinkedIn here. Okay,
No,
we can
no,
do that
it's
for the
okay.
next slide.
Thank you so much, Aniket. I have a very small, quick third question, if that is okay.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So, International Women's Day is on 8th of March. Okay. So, of course, if you're running a campaign, you start beforehand. What is the ideal length of a campaign leading up to the primary event? What should it be? Because, in my opinion, I think it should be 1 month. But what would you think? What would you have to say on this?
Absolutely. I believe we can take this discussion separately, if we can have this discussion, because maybe this cannot be a question for everyone. But just to give you an overview, normally what we do is we also do a 1 month campaign whenever there is some important event, right? My department works especially for violence against children. For us, World Children's Day is an important event, right? What we do, we keep the day in between. We do pre-event or pre-day communication, what the organization has been done. Now we take that day, we commemorate that day, or we acknowledge that day, why is it happening, and then we do a post-event or post a day communication. So we also keep 1 month timeline for every that totally depends on various communications team around the UN, but we also use 30-day strategy, but we keep the day in between. We don't use 30 days before that event to just talk about it, and once the day is gone, once the event is gone, we just don't talk about it. We don't do it. We use it for first 15 days and the next 15 days.
I think that's all for me. Thank you so much, Aniket, for being so
Thank
patient
you.
with my
Thank you,
questions.
Srishti.
Thank you.
Thank you, Srishti. Aniket, I guess can we take one more question, the last question, and we can close. Okay, so
Sure,
Amarjit Singh
absolutely.
has a question. Amarjit, would you like to ask the question?
Yeah, thank you so much, Neelam. Uh, Thank you,
Yes.
Aniket, for the wonderful session. So my question again might not appropriate for the entire audience. It is about the paid ads. Um, so one thing we were like struggling very much in that to target the exact audience. So what behavior and
Amarjit, can
interest
you
we could.
please speak a bit louder? I'm so sorry. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
so
I'm in Delhi right now, and BJP won the government, so a lot of people with their dolls and all are around. So I'm so
I
sorry for
am
that.
also in Delhi. Uh, so what I'm asking is, it is about paid ads on Meta ads. What target audience shall we select to make the campaign success?
Again, like that
Hmm.
is totally, absolutely dependent on the type of campaign that you're running. And let's just say you want to talk about your online classes that you do, right, as a civil society organization. Then the target audience is different. Let's just say you are targeting corporates to give you funds, then the target audience is different. I'm sorry, like I don't think I can answer this right now because that totally depends on the campaign and what's your requirement, what's the senior management want out of that particular campaign. So we can discuss it. I'm so sorry, like Amarjit, but like I don't think we can discuss it right now because it's too
Sure, no
generic
problem.
to talk
Mhm.
about what the audience is, right? We can take
So
it later on.
we'll connect on LinkedIn and take
Sure.
it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Amarjit, for asking. Yeah, sure. At the end of the session, I will share Aniket's LinkedIn profile ID, and you are welcome to connect with him. And as per his availability and timings, he would be happy to, help you in that way. So let's close the circle. And thank you so much once again, everyone, for joining. Especially Aniket for your time and for the knowledge you have shared. That is definitely is very helpful. I guess the participants will agree to that as well. Right.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, everyone.
And
Thank you so much. Just, just,
yeah,
just
yeah.
for appreciation, can you all please turn on your camera?
I would love to see all of you. So we have someone from Nigeria as well. I mean,
Yes, I believe
it's all I don't know if I could
it's from my
spell.
LinkedIn. I believe so.
Is it? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
we are connected on LinkedIn. Hi,
Oh,
Olufumi Olaosho is his name. Olufumi. It's lovely to be here.
Hi,
Thank you for the
Olufemi.
Hi.
This webinar was
okay.
specifically designed for Indian audience and the civil society organizations that are in India. So I'm so sorry if I couldn't take your questions or couldn't, discuss about the situations or like the challenges that you're facing. But again, feel free to reach out. We can discuss it later on.
Definitely, definitely. And
That's all right.
thanks for
Thank you.
joining. And yeah, yeah. We talk about digital communication, and so there are no boundaries definitely to connect to each other. I hope so. Yeah. Thank you once again, and thank you, Aniket. We will connect after the session again, and we'll discuss about what else we can collaborate on or something like that. And all of you, thank you once again. I've shared a link, a feedback link. If you have specific question for Aniket, if anything else you want to ask, or just a feedback like how was the today's session, so we can improvise on that as well. So you're welcome to share a feedback. I'll share the link once again, and yeah. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Oh,
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
thank you.
Thank you.